If you want to ensure your financial freedom, then you need to keep these 5 things in mind. Hey guys, this is Taresh, and this channel is all about personal finance, investing, entrepreneurship, and helping you achieve your financial freedom. Most of the people are broke. Most of the people are poor. If you're one of those people who can't seem to ever come in front of their expenses, or can't save a bit, can't invest a bit into something that will keep on bringing you passive income and maybe start a second venture, or are you never able to fulfill whatever you plan? Well, if this is the case, you are poor, my friend. You are broke. Some people have taken this to the extreme, and in the year of 2019, over 700,000 personal bankruptcies were filed, and this number has only increased in 2020 due to the whole global situation. Along with that, an average American household has almost $8,000 in credit card debt, and the whole credit card debt is of 926 billion US dollars. Also, more than 1/3 of the American population don't even have $1,000 saved up in case of any emergency. What does all of this show? This shows a poor financial planning, more and more people becoming poor and becoming broke. So in this video, I will be talking about the 5 things that you absolutely need to keep in mind, and if you implement all of these 5 points, then you will never be broke again. Apart from these 5 points, let's first talk about the 2 very obvious points that everybody talks about and everybody knows. The first of them being making more money will solve each and every problem. Is that so? Really? Well, according to some stats, 60% of the NBA players face financial problems 5 years after they retire, and almost 78% of NFL players face these kind of financial issues just after 2 years of retirement. So, not always having more money, not always getting more income will solve all your financial problems. And the second point is having the right mindset. Everyone talks about you need to have the right mindset, you need to have the saving mentality, you need to do this, you need to do that. But nobody talks about why people are not able to develop that mentality, why people are not able to develop that saving mentality. So don't worry, I will talk about each and everything one by one. The first and foremost thing that you need to do in order to ensure your financial freedom is that you need to swallow your pride. What I mean by that, working at any job won't make you a less of a man or a woman. You can't treat any job like it is beneath you. Personally, talking about myself, I have always been a good writer. So when I started my journey, when I started making money, I have made most of my money online. So the way I started is that I started providing writing services as a freelancer, and I'm a very good writer. I've also written this book. So when I started providing services, I thought that $50 was a good amount price for a 2000-word article that will take me almost 2 days to write. But when I started that job, when I started asking clients and when clients started coming to me, I had to literally sell my high quality services, my high quality articles that took me 2 days to write for $5 to $10. Can you believe that? It is not even coffee money, but I knew that I was going somewhere with this, and I knew that I was not going to do this full time. This is just a side income, and I need to earn some money in the beginning. I need to start somewhere so that once I get some capital, I can invest this into something much more long term and fruitful. So rather than just thinking that, okay, I can't do this, I have much higher quality, I want more money for the amount of work I'm putting in, I don't want to do smaller tasks, it's not up to my mark, or it is beneath me. If I was thinking like that, I would be standing nowhere right now. I did that for almost 3 to 4 months up until I got a very, very big order. All of these small orders, all of the reviews from the clients made me a very reputable freelancer. So after 2 to 3 months of working 12-hour days for just $5 to $10, I was able to strike a big client, and that client gave me 100 articles at once. The amount per article was not that massive, it was $4, but now after 4 to 5 months of very intensive work at low pay, I was able to generate $800 to $900 as a beginner, as a complete newbie. Then I invested that $800 to $900 in the digital world as digital marketing, on affiliate marketing, drop shipping, drop servicing. Some things worked out, some things didn't work out, but slowly and steadily I knew that all of the things I was doing was me building towards something bigger. So for the past 2.5 years, I have been in the digital world, and for the past 1.5 years, my business has really skyrocketed. And now I'm sitting over here telling you how to save money, how to invest money, because for the past 1.5 years, due to God's grace and all of the things working out, I have been fortunate enough to make enough money to provide for me, my family, and also invest a lot. So for the past 1.5 years, I have been planning my retirement and how can I build multiple sources of passive income so that I can retire as soon as possible. And right now I'm over here telling you how to do the same, sharing my tips and tricks. So the point being that you need to swallow your pride. Making more money will not solve everything, but it will for sure help you in achieving your financial goals. So you need to start working more hours, take up a second job, just find different ways to make more money. The second point is that it is not always a money problem, but it is a skill problem. Come on, say that again. It is not a money problem, it is a skill problem. What I mean by that, if you are satisfied with getting paid the minimum wage, if you are satisfied with where you are right now, then you will never be able to grow. As hard as it sounds, this is the truth. If I was satisfied with my writing job, if I was satisfied that, okay, I made $400 right now I can start building more clients. Now I can just do this over and over again, because what if I start a new business and that doesn't work? What if I do this and that doesn't work? So you can't be afraid of trying out new things, and you need to develop the new skills, the skills that will actually help you. I had a natural skill of writing. I put that into use. I didn't stay over there. I developed the skills of digital marketing, speaking, editing. That is why I'm able to create YouTube videos and talking to you right now. I knew that the digital marketing skill, the speaking skill, the editing skill will help me. So I invested into that. Along with that, for the past 1.5 years, I have been teaching myself the skill of personal finance, investing, how to plan my retirement, and all of these different things. I am also planning to learn the skill of trading in the coming next month, because I can do trading even when I am 60 years old, 70 years old. So I am thinking long term, and I never want to satisfy myself with the things, with the skills, with the income sources I have. So you need to develop the skills for which you can be paid a good chunk of money. Now let's talk about the psychological and the mindset approach. The third thing that you need to do is invest before spending. What all of you do is, as soon as you receive some amount, you first start thinking about parties, buying new shoes, increasing your living standards, buying the Ford Mustang, going out to the parties, going to the movies. So you always think spending before investing. That is the absolutely wrong mindset. You think that how can I support Apple and make sure that Apple doesn't go bankrupt? You think that how can I help Jeff Bezos pay his rent? You think that how can I help Sony pay their employees? You think that how can I help Tesla manage their finances? How can I help them to not go into the negatives? So you always think spending before investing. Let's say if you have $10,000, you will first think that, okay, now I have $10,000. 1,000 I will spend on clothes, 2,000 I will spend on my new home that you can't obviously afford, but you have increased your living standards. $1,000 you will spend on parties, $1,000, $2,000 you will spend on vacations. And now after that you will think that, okay, now I have fulfilled all of these desires that I have. Now let's see how much money I have to invest or to save. Nothing. But the right people with the right mindset are the ones who think investing before spending. If $10,000 were given to me, I will always think that, okay, $2,000 goes to real estate, $1,000 goes to stocks, 1,000 mutual funds, 1000 bitcoins, 1000 ETFs, and after all of this, whatever extra I have, now I can enjoy myself with that. Now I can increase my living standards, whatever the saved amount, whatever the remaining amount allows me. So this is the mindset that you need to have. Invest before spending. Long-term goals before short-term goals. Your financial well-being versus your desires. Talking about the fourth thing that you need to do is track your expenses. Each and every penny that you spend, you need to track it. There are many ways of ensuring your financial freedom, but the key point in each and every method, each and every point is that you need to keep a track of your expenses. Keep a track of each and every penny that comes into your account and each and every penny that goes out of your account. It may be the coffee, it may be going out with your co-workers on some lunch. That $5, $10, $20 transactions may not seem like a big deal at that point of time. But if you always wonder at the end of the month, where did my cash vanish this month? I didn't spend on something fancy. I didn't spend on my car. I didn't go to a vacation. Then why I don't have cash in my hand right now? Where did my cash go this month? If you face this problem at the end of each and every month, you need to manage your finances and you need to keep a track of each and every penny that you spend. There are plenty of different softwares and apps that will allow you to do that, but I personally like writing, so I would recommend each and every one of you to just write a journal, a single page simple journal at night of each and every day. While writing down each and every expense, you will yourself be able to realize that, okay, I could have saved money here. Okay, I could have found a cheaper alternative for this. I could have saved this. This way, if you start keeping a track of your expenses on a daily basis, you will for sure be taking leaps and bounds towards your financial freedom. Then the fifth thing that you need to do in order to ensure that you never be broke again is make a very, very clear segregation between your needs and your wants. You need to be very, very blunt with yourself. And today, after watching this video, just sit down and just categorize your needs versus your wants. Your needs can be anything that you can't live without, like shelter, transportation, health and insurance, food, clothes. These are the things that you can't live without. But on the flip side, what are your wants? Going out to the movies, going to dine, having drinks, going out with your friends, going to long vacations that you can't afford. If you have any hobbies that require equipment, buying expensive fishing equipment, skiing, surfing, and if you are in a very dire situation, if you are in a very extreme financial situation right now, you need to start cutting down your wants to the bare minimum and you need to start living on bare minimums until and unless you can be financially stable, and then you can start taking steps towards your retirement or your long-term financial well-being. So if you follow all these steps, keep all of these things in mind, you will never be broke again. So likes if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you loved it, and if you want to learn how to properly segregate your needs and your wants, what percentage of your income should go towards your needs, towards your wants and towards savings, I have made a dedicated video on how to manage your finances. So click on the video that is flashing on your screen right now to learn about what percentage of your income should actually go towards your needs, wants, and how much should you actually save in order to ensure your financial well-being.